Okay, this is week 2 of CIS276. I wanted to go over the Rectangle user app and make sure everybody knows how to get started on using C++ and Visual Studio, whether you're using 2008 or 2010. Hopefully you've already got that set up and you're ready to go. In this exercise, you basically take a program, create a small program. You're going to have a main function, and all your C++ apps will have a main function. Then another function called enter width, enter height, and print heading. Um, in Visual Studio, you're going to create a project called U02 Rectangle User App. Then you'll add the original source, this file here, CPP file, to the project. And source file has everything started for you as far as program heading. You'll need to add, in the main method, you must add the termination code from the CIS276 program termination.cpp. You'll look at that in just a second. When you downloaded all the files for this week, this is what the files you should have received or should have on your computer, as I have here on mine. And make sure you have those on there. You're going to need the program termination for the end termination and the rectangle user app.cpp. When you're finished, you're going to put in the Dropbox the CPP file and the executable file. So here's some notes. You're going to use the example program from what I just showed you in the folder you downloaded. One at a time, you can go through the program loop, gas mileage, gaming app, checking app, below target, report, all of those. There's a README document that goes through the unit examples, and then it also you can tells you how to run those. This README document right here. So for this code, you're going to put in some preprocessor statements, main function. Program's going to have a loop function, a report heading function, the report heading is mainly, you can find one in the gassing example for the gas. Probably the best one it gives you is the gas mileage one. Then you're going to have a function prototype in the main, a function call in the main, function heading and body. The heading is only displayed once at program startup. You have two functions, enter length and width, and then model your coding after the examples. Program data, length, width, area, and perimeter should be type of int. Include comments as needed. Output, we'll look at in just a second what the output's going to be. Here's the algorithm. Declare data, initialize data as needed, call the print heading function. While the user chooses to continue, you're going to call the enter length, enter width function. The enter length is going to get the rectangle length. Enter width is going to get the rectangle width. Compute the area, perimeter, display area in a label, and perimeter in a label. And then prompt the user if they want to continue, and then terminate the program. Here's some sample output. Program name, U02 underscore rectangle user app by Joe Blow, and a rectangle length 3, and a rectangle width 4, area of rectangle 12, perimeter of rectangle is 14, and continue Y and Y. If they do Y, it's going to go again. If they hit N, it's going to exit. So let's go to start at the very beginning. Name of the app is to be this right here. So I'm going to file, new project. 132. Do number 2 on this one. Do not uncheck or don't check this one. Create directory. Click OK. Click Next. Precompiled. And make sure it's empty project. Didn't do that before. Make sure empty project and console application. Click Finish. There we go. That's what we should look like. So we have our project name and Solution Explorer, and nothing in here yet. I'm going to right-click on the Solution Explorer, go to Add, Existing Item. I'm going to browse out to my computer where these are downloaded. And I want the U02 underscore rectangle user app. Add that. Double click on that. So here's the file. You're going to have to put in your beginning information, your student information. I put my name, and you'll put your student ID here. Everything else you'll leave the same. Here's your sample output of what your program should look like. So here's your preprocessor directives. You got IO stream, you're going to have for almost all your apps. A string for the string class. IO manip for the set width, fixed function, and set precision. Use a namespace standard. This constant int is for the label on the display. You'll see in a second. I'll put it at 18. It can be even smaller, maybe 15 if you wanted to. That's fine. But you'll notice we have a main, int main. Let me collapse these, and you can do this on yours too when you're coding. It's a little easier to see. You'll notice I've got a main, enter width, enter length, and a print heading. I'm going to go ahead and start with the main. Inside the main, I've got some function prototypes. Declare both of them as integers, enter length, enter width. This is going to call print heading function, that we'll look at in a second. Then we're going to declare some local variables, width, length, area, and perimeter. String choice, declaring the word choice as a string. Then we've already got the prototype for print heading here. Here's where it's going to actually be called. Then here's the do loop. Do, I'll scroll all the way down, while the choice is Y, either upper or lower case. So let's go inside the do loop here real quick. We're going to declare a couple, or initialize the data to be 0 for width and length. Here, it's going to call the inner length function and plug it into length. It's going to call the inner width function, plug it into winner, or width. Then we're going to calculate area by using length times width. Calculate perimeter. Then 2 times length and 2 times width. Could also do length plus width to get the perimeter. Then here for all your apps, you're going to have a next, generally a formatting of some type for an output. Here we've got a fixed show point, set position of 1, displaying the area of rectangle is. Remember the set label was a constant above at 18. It's going to kick out area. And then display perimeter. Same here. Perimeter rectangle is perimeter. And then whether or not the user wants to continue or not by Y or N. CN is the input of the user. Cout is the output to the screen. So anytime you use the cout, it's going to be kicking out to the display. Now let's go to the enter width function. Enter width is pretty simple. It's a passing by value. We're declaring inside of enter width an integer called width, prompting to the screen, enter rectangle length, and int. They enter the width, and then it returns that width value integer. The next is enter length, declaring an integer called length, cing out enter rectangular height, cin length, returning that length, and then finally the function print heading. Let's look at that one. This one's actually going to be displayed when the program first runs. If you remember in the main, this is the very first function call here, print heading. So print heading is going to display the nice program, project program name by your name. And then it's going to do a set precision for a title, rectangle program. And then I put a little, instructions here. Welcome to rectangle program. When prompted, enter the width and height to calculate rectangle, and then end out. So let's go ahead and run the app. Here's the display. Project program name U02 rectangle app. Welcome to rectangle program. When prompted, please enter the width and height of the rectangle. I'm going to go ahead and enter in the values here. I'll make it 5 for height, 5 for length. Now we've got 25 for the rectangle. Area of the rectangle is 25. Perimeter of the rectangle is 20. Do I want to continue? I'll put Y in there. I'll do this time 3 for height, 4 for length. The area of the rectangle is 12. The perimeter of the rectangle is 14. And then I'm going to hit end it. So, and to wrap up on this one, again, declaring your information, student information, your name, student email. This program has 3 functions or 4 functions, including the main. The main function is going to first call print heading, then enter width, enter length, and then display the information. The print heading is just that, it's just printing the heading of the program, and that's all. Once it only displays once. The enter width just gets the width, length, and so here we have in the main, enter length, enter width. And these are the 2, or actually 3 prototypes. And you've got to do that for all of your functions prior to calling them. And then your 4 local variables. And then another variable called string choice. Here it's calling the print heading, doing a do loop while the user's entering data. When they finally decide to hit N, it's going to terminate and exit the program. And that completes the exercise for Rectangle User App. If you have any questions, you can email